Now bring to your mind a specific stimulus, an event, a situation, which may have caused you to feel an unpleasant feeling. And focus on that event or behavior and experience the emotions that you have in relationship to that. Allow yourself to feel those emotions. Can you accept those emotions? Can you let go of those emotions? Would you like to let go of those emotions? And if you would like, when would you like to let go? Now focus again on the stimulus and feel your feelings. And accept them as they are. Realize that they are a form of energy created by your beliefs. And allow the emotions to expand, to flow, and perhaps dissipate or dissolve. Experiment with letting go of the emotions, allowing them to flow out of you and to disappear. And experiment with being free from the emotions. And see how you feel without them. Now, why don't you experiment with taking them back and to have them again in your energy field? And then experiment again with letting them go so that they are no longer in your energy field. Now, one more time, experiment with taking them back and feeling them again in your energy field. And then one more time, experiment with letting them go and being free. Now sink deeper into yourself, go deeper, letting go of the outside world, and sink deeper into yourself. and deeper. And even deeper. And discover the attachment that was creating those emotions. What is the attachment? Is an attachment for approval or for security, perhaps freedom or control? What is the attachment? Now, can you accept the attachment that you have been programmed with this attachment? It's okay. Try accepting the attachment. Now, if you like, you can try letting go of the attachment. Letting go of that prerequisite. Letting go of that doubt. And see if you can experience within yourself what you were seeking outside. That is to experience your self-worth, as within you, immutable, unchangeable. Whatever happens, you are equally worthy of love and respect. Experience inner security. And you may like to imagine a light flowing into you and dissolving the attachments, so that you're free from the attachment and the emotion. Now bring to your mind the stimulus again and see what you feel when you bring the stimulus to your mind. Accept whatever you feel. Let go of whatever you feel. Sink deeper within. Discover the attachment. Accept the attachment. And if you agree, let go of the attachment. And experience within yourself that wholeness. That part of yourself which is okay. And bring the stimulus to your mind one more time and see if you can be happy, peaceful, regardless of the stimulus. You can find that part of yourself which is free to be happy, regardless of what happens. Okay. And I'm going to count from 1 to 5 so that we gradually return to a more waking state of consciousness. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can relax your concentration. Hit it once, hit it twice. Once to stop and once to begin again. Our energy field to be affected by this, okay? It's a choice that we have. This is what Lester Levinson is saying to us. You have the choice of letting it go. You are not obliged to hold on to it, okay? How about discovering the attachment? How many of you found that it was a self-worth attachment? Okay. And the security attachment?
Can be two.
It can be both, yeah. Freedom? No? Control?
Appreciation is an attachment.
It usually has to do with self-worth. Yeah. Yes. What? Control. Okay. Control. Okay. Of course, control we want in order to get what we need to feel self-worth and security. So, okay. And were you able to let go of the attachment? How did you do on that? Okay. Were you able to experience what you needed inside rather than seeking it outside? How did you do on that? Okay? So?
Because it's a stronger thing. It's not like the emotion. Emotion can go away quickly, but the other one is stronger.
It was more difficult with the attachment. Okay. Okay. Now, once you have learned this process, you don't need to do all what we did now. This can be done in 10 seconds. Once you've learned the process and you observe that, oh, I'm feeling something here, accept it. It's okay to feel that. Accept yourselves. ask, what is the attachment? The attachment is for this person to have done this. Okay, can I let go of that? Do I want to let go of that? And let go of it. And so that's 10 seconds. So once you get used to this, it's like doing a mini analysis on the road. So it's like, okay, fear, attachment is to acceptance or security. Can I let go of this? I let go of this. And then the emotions don't begin to accumulate. Because when they start accumulating, they become more resistant. And of course, they have a greater effect on our health and on our relationships. So that is a very brief explanation of the sadhana method. In the sadhana method, we also let go of positive feelings. Why would we let go of positive feelings? About when the positive feeling has a stimulus. Because if the positive feeling is, I have a positive feeling because of a stimulus, I will have the opposite negative feeling when the stimulus is the opposite. So if I'm feeling great because you told me something nice about myself, in 10 minutes if you told me something that's not so nice about myself, so letting go of positive emotions that are based on external stimuli is also a part of the sadhana method. You don't have to do it. Okay, you can say, no, I want to keep the positive emotion.
It's like breaking the connection between the event and the emotion.
You're breaking your dependency on external factors for what you're feeling, and you're creating a more stable inner state. Okay. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that we're going to be without love and gratitude and happiness. Yeah, but it's just that I would say that we are that our frame of reference is not outside of ourselves, but inside of ourselves. And so the sadhana method is a continuous process of doing that. Every time I see that I'm upset, I take my dependency from outside and say, okay, I can feel what I need to feel based on my being. It doesn't have to be based on the other person's behavior or the reactions.
Like having vitamins, but we have everything inside. We don't.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so that was a very quick introduction to the sadhana method. Any questions about that? Would someone like to repeat the process to me?
I have a question. Do we have to do this always in a meditative state?
No, that's what I explained earlier. You could do it in any state once you have learned it. I do it in a meditative state so that you get the feeling of it. But you can just, yes, okay? So what are the steps? Who's going to remind us?
First we have the stimulus. We are concentrated on our
Yeah.
stimulus. We are going to find our emotion that
Mhm.
is inside. And then we are going to accept, first of all, the emotion that we
Mhm.
have. First we accept it, and then we are asking ourselves if we are ready to get rid of it.
Not get rid of it. Let it go.
To let it
There's a big difference, right?
Okay.
Okay. Because we are so oriented towards fighting the emotions and being against them. So we just let it go.
Okay, once we let it go, we are returning again to our stimulus, controlling how is our
Mhm.
emotion now.
Mm?
And if it's not gone, we're trying doing it again
Mm?
till it's gone.
Okay. And then there's the deeper level, which is looking for the attachment, accepting the attachment, and letting go of the attachment, and experiencing within ourselves what we need in order to, I mean, we're just so, our egos are just so empty. I mean, they're just so empty. They can never be fulfilled. I mean, if someone has given you 20 compliments today, and then he says something that you don't like, It's like he didn't say any of the 20 compliments, right? I mean, it just doesn't stop. It doesn't stop asking, do you love me, do you love me, do you love me? Really. And it's just such a needy thing, you know, this ego. And we are not it. And we can get free from it. Not throw it away, love it, and train it, educate it. It doesn't, we don't need to, you can't fight the ego. It's much wiser than you are. It's very sly. Extremely sly. I remember one story that Swami Vishnu said, Vedanta said, there was a student that was speaking very negatively to him in a seminar, in a lecture. And so his reaction was to get up and go and touch the feet of the student in a showing of humility. And as he said, as I was bending down, he heard a voice in his mind saying, oh, look at how humble I am. You see, so it's the ego is just never resting. It's always going to try to find a way to verify that it's good, because it doubts it very seriously. It doubts that it's good. You know, this is why the focusing on innocence is important. That we are innocent. We are good people. Okay. Now, before we move on to the Ho'oponopono, I'd like you to do an exercise with each other to experience something about self-acceptance. So you can make your couples again, okay? You can do it with the same person or with a different person, whatever you choose. Okay? So make them and I will tell you what you're going to do. You can close it. Yeah.
It's not easy to say it, yes. It just
Yeah.
doesn't feel playing a role. And
But you know, actually, we're saying it quite frequently. Actually, we're saying it quite frequently in our lives, and also mentally when we criticize, we see things we don't agree with, and also we say it to people. I mean, we may not say those words, but why did you do it this way? And where were you? And why didn't you do it the other way? And we're intimating that, okay, you're not okay. Okay, and it's a message that we often give to people, and we also often receive. Now, were you able to feel that sense of security and love, even though you're being told you're not okay? You're able to do that? Yes. Okay, now this is a frame of reference. It's not going to be that easy out there, okay? But the whole thing is that it's possible to do. It's possible not to get locked into the game, okay? And not needing to prove that we're right or worthy. Okay? So this is a thing that you may want to work with, okay? And this has to do with what we did earlier, and that is feeling the inner sense of who I am, which has nothing to do with my appearance or my achievements. It's something which is immutable, non-negotiable. Your self-worth is non-negotiable. It cannot be negotiated. It cannot be decreased. It cannot be increased. It's what you are as a being, okay? So if there are things that you need to improve, okay, we all need to improve some things in our lives. Okay, any questions about this? We're okay?
one question.
Yeah.
I mean, it may sound stupid, but I need to ask.
You're wrong.
How much can you reflect love to someone who is all the time telling you you're wrong, you're not worthy?
It all depends on how secure we are. How we can tell them, you know, I don't like it when you talk to me this way. We have every right to explain that and to ask for a different kind of behavior. But the degree to which we're able to keep our center is the degree to which we are self-confident within ourselves, and that we feel secure in our self-worth and in our security. The only thing that causes us to go out of that is our doubt about ourselves. So it's a matter of sympathetic vibration. And also, when we are attached to someone's acceptance, we may have made a soul contract with that soul, and we often make it with our parents, not to show us their acceptance until we let go of that need, because that need is an illusion. It's not true that my self-worth is dependent on what this person. It's not true. It's an illusion. It's the illusion of the child, okay? The role of the child. So we may have made a contract. Whatever I do, don't express satisfaction. And the interesting thing is, if that someone else comes to that person and says, well, how is your daughter? She's wonderful. You understand what I mean? So the whole thing is, this is a personal thing that we're creating with this person. And the more we need it, the less possibility of getting it. So we need to let it go. And so we may have made these soul contracts. Okay?
I know people that got divorced just because of that.
Yeah.
Because the man was telling everyone everything is okay. He was laughing with everyone, but he was never laughing with his wife, never talking to her. But outside he was great, but at home he was very bad.
Yeah, these are alchemies that are created between individuals. And this will bring us to a short...
There was an end to the love she gave to him. She ended it.
Well, that was her choice.
Yeah,
That was her choice.
Now, this brings us to a short introduction to Ho'oponopono. And in their future time, we can work more deeply on it.
Break before we move on.
We don't have time.
Okay.
Yeah. It's 1:30 and we have to finish at 2. So in half an hour, you're going to be free.
Well, it's not about freedom, it's just,
Yeah. My experience is that there are no little breaks. If you don't mind, because we would lose, we have only a half an hour. Okay. Ho'oponopono means to correct in the Hawaiian language. And what do I want to correct? I want to correct whatever in me is contributing to whatever I don't like outside of me. Okay? I want to correct whatever is in me that is contributing to what I do not like outside of me. For so in this example, if I have a person who is always rejecting me and telling me I'm not okay, if that is what is really happening, because it may be happening 10 and I see it 100, okay? What I would do is I would ask for anything in me that's causing this person to behave in this way to be removed. Okay? Because I'm taking full responsibility for my reality. Ho'oponopono means taking full responsibility. There is nothing out there that I'm not contributing to. And especially the things that bother me. Because there's lots of things happening out there and they don't come to my attention and they're not important to me. So basically we do the Ho'oponopono for the things that are bothering me. And that can be the behavior of a loved one. It could be an illness of a loved one. It could be a financial situation, a professional situation. It could be my own health. It could be an emotion that I have or an aspect of my personality. I could do Ho'oponopono for the part of me that gets angry, or Ho'oponopono for the part of me that fears. Okay? I could do Ho'oponopono, we do it in Greece a lot, for the government and for all of the ministers
Not very successful.
and the bankers and everyone that seems to be playing a part in this situation. So what happens is that I realize that I am a co-creator. And I am co-creating the government, and I'm co-creating my spouse, and my child, and my parents, and everything that's happening around me. Now, this is not a blame issue. We're not talking about blame. It's not like I am to blame. I am co-creating. I'm co-creating it as an opportunity for growth. So there is no blame. It's not I'm to fault because this person is behaving negatively towards me. That's not the thing. The thing is that my fear of rejection is asking the other person to reject me. My rejecting myself is asking the person to reject me. Okay? My tendency to reject others is asking that. This is a reflection process. It's a mirroring process. Something in me is being mirrored here. It can be my fear of that. It could be my tendency to do that. It could be my tendency to do that to myself. For example, I have people that come to me, no one respects me. And after a few minutes of discussion, it's quite clear this person is not respecting himself or not respecting the other. So there is a reflection going on. So we do Ho'oponopono when we see something which we feel is not correct. Okay? Maybe someone is driving in an incorrect way. Maybe when someone is behaving in an incorrect way. Maybe we consider that someone's illness needs to be corrected. Okay? And so what do? We say, okay, I am sorry for any participation that I may have in this creation. And that could be the person's behavior, the person's illness, a social situation, my own illness, my own economic situation, whatever that may be. The second step is to feel love for whatever exists. I say, I love you. So, I love the person, I love the situation, whatever, to not be against what is happening, to accept what is happening, okay? And how could we feel love for what is happening? By perceiving it as a growth opportunity. When I perceive it as a growth opportunity, I can say, okay, I can love this as a growth opportunity. Okay? Thirdly, I love myself. So I'm sorry for any participation, contribution I have to this. I love you. I love myself. And then I free you from the need to remain in this condition. That could be to remain as a critical person, or as an abusive person, or as an ill person, or as an unhappy person, okay? Or I free myself from being any of those. So what we're saying is, I free you from the need to continue to be this way for my evolutionary process. And then the last step is, I thank the divine for cleansing me, for removing from me anything that is co-creating this situation. My participation might be small. It's small in comparison to another so many million people in a country, okay? But it's my power. My power is to remove my participation. My participation in a conflict with another person is quite large. There's some reason that there is this conflict with this person. So what I do is I am seeking to be freed from whatever might be in me that may be in some way contributing to a reality which I consider needs healing. Okay?
As I free the others, I also free myself.
Yes, exactly. Now, there's another way to do this. If you don't like the word I am sorry, you can say, I thank you for all the opportunities for growth that you have given me in this, through this, your presence. Now your presence could be, I thank my illness for all the opportunities for growth that it has given me until now. And then I free my illness. Okay, thanks a lot. I don't need you anymore.
You can go.
Okay. You can thank my fear for all of the opportunities for growth that my fear has given me. I can thank my loved one who is behaving in a critical way. Thank you for all the opportunities for growth you have given me through your criticism, or through your lack of conscientiousness, or your anger, whatever that may be. Okay? So you could, if you don't like the word I am sorry because it leads to feeling somehow guilty or something like that, you can say that. I thank you for all the opportunities for growth you have given me until now. You can say that to your economic situation. I thank my economic situation, if it's not as you would like it to be, for all the opportunities for growth you have given me till now. I love you. I love myself. I free you from the need to remain as you are for my growth process, and I thank the Divine for removing from me whatever may be contributing to this. Okay? So it's a very simple method. I think I will guide you through that now. I would... Huh? Yeah, it definitely is written. But there's a much larger explanation that I would have to make another time, and give you more examples of what might be reflecting. As you can see, there's a lot of material that we haven't worked with. Page 27. Okay? Page 27. Now, what I would like to do now is to do Ho'oponopono for a specific behavior of a specific person. So I want you to choose a specific person and a specific behavior of that person which annoys you or creates some fear or some injustice or hurt or guilt, whatever that may be. So you have to have in your mind a behavior and then the emotions that you have because of that behavior. Okay? And I will guide you in the Ho'oponopono process. Any questions before we do that? Does everyone have something that they can work with? Anyone want to borrow from somebody else? Huh? Yeah. But I would like you to choose a specific person now and their behavior. Their criticism, for example. Okay. Are you ready? I'm going to guide you. So turn your chairs towards me and sit straight. Okay. Now you can close your eyes, sit straight and close your eyes. Take a few breaths. With the help of your breathing, close your phones. And with the help of your breathing, relax more deeply. Take a deep inhalation, hold the breath, and on the exhalation, relax. Take another deep inhalation, hold your breath, and on the exhalation, relax. One more time, take a deep inhalation. Hold your breath, and on the exhalation, relax. Allow your body to be relaxed. Allow your abdomen to become relaxed. Allow your solar plexus to relax. Allow your shoulders and arms to be relaxed. Allow your face, the muscles of your face to relax. Now bring to your mind a specific person and their specific behavior, which for you becomes a problem for you. It's something that bothers you, creates an unpleasant feeling. And see what you're feeling and accept that. Now, having the other person in mind, repeat mentally what I'm going to say. I thank you for all of the opportunities for growth that you have given me through your behavior. Through your behavior. I repeat, I thank you for all the opportunities for growth that you have given me through your behavior. I love you. And focus on feeling love for this person, irregardless of their behavior. See if you can feel love, irregardless of this behavior. Now say in your mind, and I love myself. And feel love for yourself as you are. Feel love for yourself. Okay, now repeat in your mind. I free you from the need to continue to be this way. For my evolutionary process. I free you from the need to continue to be this way for my evolutionary process. And free that person. See them as becoming freed. And I thank the Divine for purifying me of all aspects that may contribute to this reality, for removing from me anything that may be contributing to this reality. I thank the Divine for removing from me anything that may be contributing to this reality. And now you can feel this light flowing into you and removing anything in you that may be contributing to this reality. Allow that light to flow through you and purify you. So there's nothing in you anymore that's contributing to this. Experience that light purifying and healing any aspects of your being that were contributing to this. Now, I'm going to count from 1 to 5 as we return to a more conscious state. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can open your eyes. Now, both the Sadhana method and the Ho'oponopono are described in detail in this book, dealing with testing times. Okay, it's just full of the various techniques that you can use to come back into your center. How did you feel with the Ho'oponopono? What were the feelings that you had? Relaxed? Okay. Were you able to accept this concept of being a co-contributor to a reality? Next time, I can explain to you the details of this. We made a list of about 25 forms of mirroring. It's a whole nother exercise. Because when we say there's something in me that's attracting this, most people don't understand what that could be. And that's a whole nother process. What are these all? And there's nothing evil. It's not like I am to fault. It's just that my fear is attracting things that I fear. My guilt is attracting things that I feel guilty about. My childhood experiences are attracting things that are becoming repetitive. Okay?
If I'm a child and I really feel neglected by my mother or father, is it an illusion? Right now I am a child, let's say 12 years old, 11 years old,
Mm-hmm.
not baby.
Yeah.
And I am telling you that I feel that way because of this and that.
Hmm?
And will you again tell me that it's an illusion?
Well, I wouldn't say to the child that it's an illusion, but I would say that his self-worth, that he is worthy of love and respect, even though his parents are not paying attention to him. And most probably the reason they're not paying attention to him doesn't have anything to do with their love for him, but for other things that are preoccupying their minds. And the important issue here would be that you are worthy and you are safe even without your parents and without their approval. And I would encourage that in the child. I would encourage that in any child. Yeah.
And it's easy for them to accept that? Or
It may not be
that-
easy, but it's much easier to hear that at 5 than it is at 30. I mean, if you explain to a child that, because the child sees the parents as God, as this, okay. They can't imagine that the parents have problems until they become adolescents, and then they can't see anything right about their parents. So, until a certain age, the only thing the child can say is, well, there must be something wrong with me if they're not paying attention to me. Okay. Okay, any more questions about Ho'oponopono? Okay, I'd like to conclude with just a small circle and each person saying the truth or the concept that you would like to take away and that you would like to remember leaving here. Okay? So we can start, we can go around. What truth would you like to strengthen from here on in?
To be more valuable.
To be more available,
Valuable.
to feel your value.
Yes.
Okay. So you want to come away from this feeling your self-worth.
Yes.
Okay. And remembering that.
Yes.
And remembering that that's not based on anything outside of yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to feel that the universe is safe enough for
Mhm.
everyone.
Okay, that I live in a safe, and we all live in a safe universe. Okay?
To love and respect myself.
Okay. You want to increase that, to love and respect yourself. Okay?
Instead of holding the fear, instead of this, trusting the divine and
Okay, trusting in the divine, trusting in the universe, that I am safe. Okay?
To be able to use some of your techniques, especially when I discovered that belief system which I have within me does not serve me
Okay.
in my life purpose.
Okay, so using these EFT, the balancing technique, the Sedona, the Ho'oponopono, to change the beliefs, to create a new belief
Does
system.
not serve me.
Okay, any beliefs that are not serving me. Okay?
I am not responsible from everybody's potential and or earnings in my space.
You're not responsible for anyone's potential.
Potential, achieving or
Oh, you're not responsible for how much other people are achieving.
yeah,
Okay. You're not responsible for their reality or their success
while in my spaces.
while in your space. Okay? Your space is the whole universe, I can imagine. Okay.
That's the difficult part.
Okay. Okay.
Ways to be more in my center and not to be independent.
Okay. So you would like to take away from this getting back to your center using EFT or the truths or anything else, Sedona, to come back to your center. Okay. Thank you.
özellikle öğrendiğim teknikleri götürmek istiyorum. İkincisi şu
Especially the techniques that I learned here.
Yes?
özgürlükte özgür bırakma. En çok etkilendiğim de o.
The most I was affected was freeing.
The Sedona method. Sedona. Okay.
Yok en çok efektif
In EFT,
EFT.
balance.
balancing and
Okay. Good.
getting free from the emotion.
Okay. Good. We have a phrase in English which is use it or lose it. Okay. So I hope you use it this week. It's very important. This week you have to, oh, what did he say? What was that? Of course, in these books that you have, you can find them again. But using it during these days is important. Yes.
For that, I will give a short seminar to my co-workers about.
Ah, that's nice.
Yes, I will tell them about these techniques, and I'm
Okay.
sure I will be learning deeply.
Yeah.
And apart from that, I would like to discover my individual self more deeply and get rid of my attachments. Is what I take for myself.
Okay, so you want to experience your inner self
I want
and your individuality
yeah.
and let go of attachments. Yeah, attachments just create pain. They really don't serve us very much. Preferences are fine. So let's change the attachments, make them preferences. And as you said that, any of you that want to take more of these yellow programs to give to co-workers or friends, take as many as you like. There are some here and there are some still there. Okay?
I also would like to get rid of some of the attachments that I have.
Mm-hmm. And which truths or techniques do you think will help you most in that?
Probably a combination of all the things that you told us.
Mm-hmm.
EFT together with what's the name?
Balance.
The balancing
together
techniques.
with,
Yeah.
yeah, sadhana and
Okay.
I want to create something.
Good. Good.
I will mix them all
You will mix them up. Okay. Good.
according to my
And there's no problem with mixing them for yourselves and for others. They're not exclusive. Okay.
I would like to get rid of my attachments as well.
Okay.
And I realized how important it is to ask the right questions and go right in
Yeah.
deep of the problem, not surface.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to work on that though. I mean, I can't say I learned it.
Okay.
So I have to work on it and learn to ask the right questions.
Okay. I have a suggestion, and that is that once you get all of the emails, you can make appointments with each other. And that could be separately, or that could be in a group situation, and you could practice doing active listening, one on the other, and then guiding each other through EFT, balancing, sadhana, ho'oponopono. And that will be a wonderful way for you to practice, so that any of you that actually are working with clients, then you'd have a little more practice before you start working with your clients on that. So I would suggest that you make appointments with each other. Okay? Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Can I ask a question? I'm not an expert like my other friends here. How do I feel which way is the most correct for my problem or for the solution that I'm looking for? How do I decide on that?
Well, I would suggest that you start with the EFT. It's the most comprehensive and it's the most specific. Okay? And then after EFT, do the EFT, and then after follow up with one of the others that you like most. Okay? It could be sadhana, it could be the balancing, it could be the ho'oponopono. So use the EFT to reduce the emotion, and then follow up with one of those. Which one did you feel the most response to? The ho'oponopono. Yes.
Whatever that is.
Ho'oponopono.
I would say to correct.
To correct. Okay. In Greece, pono means pain. And so they said, some people say, I did the pono, which means I did the pain. I said, no, don't say, it's ho'oponopono, not pono. It was pain. But yeah?
Pain. I think that in some I will bring accepting others, accepting myself, not fighters, not fighting.
Acceptance.
Acceptance.
Okay, that's going to be your motto for the next year.
Yes, acceptance.
Acceptance. Okay.
Acceptance.
And Sedona is
Never
good for
comes
that.
to life.